Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The message behind saying the title of the Heavyweight Podcast is to be able to say that we can weigh in on some heavy shit. You know, what we're talking about is important from every aspect of it. It's a heavy weight. It's not just about physical weight, but the weight of things that can weigh our minds. So I think it's dope that we can have this conversation.
What's good? This is episode 185 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I'm your anti-social host and never your favorite, Stutta McFly, back again with these two guys. That's going to be here. Go ahead and state your name for the beautiful people out. Cheer!
MoeLethal.
Mo Button.
Pump. Pump, pump. Pump, pump.
Her up.
Her up.
Oh, I'm Mr. Fister Chunkum. What's up? What's up?
He ain't messed yet, huh?
He ain't messed today. He ain't messed. Fister, what is that again?
Fister Chunkum. Everybody remember Chunkums. He got Chunkums.
That sounds like a dope rap name. How are your weeks?
Mine was good. Nice and chill. Relaxed. Got a little cold-ass weather. That was fun. But I missed the cold, so that was good.
Expensive, man.
Expensive?
Yeah.
You don't want to go into further detail?
Yeah, my daughter had her meet in San Diego.
How'd she do?
Excellent, because she's black.
Black excellence. I like that.
Legacy, legacy, legacy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Did she ask you what a will is?
No.
God damn, I listened to too much Jay-Z.
But that's what I was referencing.
So how are your weeks? I did ask that already.
Yeah,
God damn it.
Where at you now?
Where
I'm
at you?
Stutta McFly, I repeat. My week was writing and trying to see if you guys like how my voice sounds raspy. Since Mo Button pointed it out, I mean, he is Mo Button, so he might know. So
I would say I have my ear to the street, but I don't listen to nobody.
Is that what that meant? I thought that just meant they was just like listening to what people are saying. My bad.
Anyway, we're going to get to the shenanigans. Everything's curated by what's going on in our fucking lives.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's called, I'm going to knock the black out your ass.
No shit.
This is from personal experience. So can you share the first time your child disrespected or disappointed you? How did it make you feel and how did you respond?
Disrespected me?
Or someone around you? Shit, if you...
I don't know the first time.
I can't remember the first time.
I'm in the middle of the oh my God, the testing phase.
Why?
Oh my God.
Why?
Or
Why?
not that.
No.
It's the put that down. You're like, are you? Yeah, it's rough. We're getting there.
Yeah.
She's getting better. Because I was remembering that with Kendall. Like, cause like Graceland's just different though. Because Kendall would like, and then it wasn't as bad. But oh my God, she's like, she knows what she's doing, and like she'll look at you and be like, "Let me see if I can get away with this." I'm like, I can't let you get away with it.
That's my friend. Man, don't talk bad about my friend.
That shit sucks.
I can't recall first. I'm pretty sure she probably disrespect me a lot of times. Well, that's my little angel, so I let it go. Now, when she disrespect her mama, I'll be like, "Look here, calm down. That's my wife. Sit your ass down." I do remember the first time she raised her voice at her mom, and I was like, and I looked at her like, "Who the fuck you talking to?" And when I said it with bass in my voice, and she looked at me like, "Nobody." I said, "Yeah, apologize to your mother."
Yeah, she still be doing it.
Yeah, she still do.
Graceland, I'm like, oh.
I feel like I have to say that on a frequent basis.
Who you talking to?
Who the fuck you think you talking to? Or watch your fucking tone.
Yeah, they taught me an octave. I didn't know I had those octaves. Like, hey, you're like, oh shit, that should get a little bass in there.
That came from below the diaphragm. Yeah, I think she was raising her voice to her mom, and I kind of yelled at her real quick. The first time she disappointed me when she blatantly lied.
Yeah,
and we had a conversation about liars and how you're showing that you're showing yourself to be untrustworthy. And so if I can't trust you to do the right thing when I'm not here, I'm sorry, if I can't trust you to do the right thing when I'm here, I can't trust you to do the right thing when I'm not around. So that's going to limit your opportunities to do things because now I know I can't trust your situations. And, after we had a couple conversations, she's starting to grasp it. And so now she does the thing where like, she'll tell a half lie and she'll go, "Oh, I'm just playing." No.
That's yes.
Yeah. Like she'll tell a half lie. Yeah. And then like once she like, shit, they know the truth. No, I'm just playing. I actually no. So like, that kind of stuff. That because I'm teaching her, man, like your word means everything. So if I can't trust you to do what you're supposed to do or do what you say you're going to do or actually completed a task that you said you did, then it's going to severely limit what you're going to be allowed to do around here and what you're going to be allowed to do outside this house.
They usually follow with waterworks too.
Oh yeah, always. And I'd be like, you know what I say now? I was like, go cry in your room. I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see this shit. Go cry in your room. And if you start crying loud, I don't want to hear it. So the longer I hear you, the more shit I'm gonna take away.
Yeah, that's a hard one to get through. That is a hard one to get through.
Yeah. Go ahead, say it.
I've been and I think in the last 2 weeks have been in scenarios of constant disrespect. But the thing is, it's when it happened to me, it kind of gave me a future reference to what the fuck me and Andreas are going to be into as we get older.
So you squaring up in the front yard?
He's trying, and he knows better now. But I feel like as he gets older and taller, he's gonna keep trying it, and he's very stubborn. He reminds me a lot of his fucking grandfather. But that happened recently. That's why I said these questions are curated, where he got disrespectful, and it's over usually shit that what pisses me off more is when it's, and I guess it's a double whammy. It's the disrespect, and it disappoints me because it's not even over something that's worth being disrespectful over. It's just not understanding the what's not worth it as far as, because for them it's like it matters in the moment that they realize it's passing. It's like, oh, I'm mad I didn't get this right now, and it's like, but that you felt that was the perfect opportunity to be that disrespectful.
It's life and death in the moment to them.
Yeah, but and then as soon as it passes, it's on to something else. But like it was something where I had to check it because it was something that my dad used to instill in me when I was younger. And when he said at a certain point he hated me. My dad never tolerated that. So when it happened with me and him, I didn't tolerate it. I said, no, there's some things like I can let you have an attitude here and there and we can get through it, but never, I told him, never make that statement or say that statement to anyone, especially if it's someone you care about, because you might end up in an instance, and verbatim the phrase my dad said to me, you don't want to ever tell the people that you care about you hate them, because if, say, something happens and you're not able to take back what you said, you're always going to live with the regret of making the statement. So never just say the phrase, I hate you, to people unless you actually mean it. And he apologized and he said, I'm sorry, Dad. But like, it just hit home because it was one of those things where it was like, I get this, it's going to happen continuously, and I know they don't mean what they say all the time, but at the same time, you want to nip certain things in the butt. And when it was said, it pissed me off because it wasn't something worth making that statement over. Not getting something that you really wanted, a toy or whatever it was in that moment, is not warranted to say that you hate somebody that literally give anything, fucking give his own life to make sure that you're okay. So yeah, that just disappointed me in that moment. Then it happened with Ava, but it wasn't me. So I'm gonna tell the story. Maurice already knows the story. Ava was picked up by her mother at school and proceeded to throw a fucking tantrum.
Oh yeah, that's
and decided that she wanted to swing or hit her mother in public. Even in that instance, it wasn't warranted, but it's still one of the things where it's like the level of disrespect in that moment towards your parent is like, I can't be okay with it at all. But it's just letting things get to a certain point has to be nipped in the bud immediately. And like me constantly working all the time, I get that I'm not around enough to always be able to implement or enforce certain conditions or shit that ain't happening. Like this is I stand on business shit, but if I'm not around to implement it, it doesn't necessarily get enforced. So yeah. But I will say before that time, she had caught an attitude with me in the morning. And I had to check that shit too. And she straightened up, but like then it's like it spilled over, and then she went at her mom. But we parent two different ways. So, but yeah, that's why a lot of these questions are being stemmed from, because that shit happens so many different times. And the baby, of course, slaps shit out of me all the time. But he's 1 year old, so we're gonna just let that slide. And he robs me for my protein shit, which is expensive, and he takes it and acts like it's just like a fucking bologna sandwich or some shit. Just eats it. Or I think he eats it, then I go fucking check somewhere else, and he had left it half eaten, slobbered somewhere, and you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
he was done.
This shit's expensive. You know what I did with that shit? I rinsed it off and I ate it my goddamn self. Anyway, next question is cultural context. How do you think cultural expectations and stereotypes about us being black fathers influence on how we handle disrespect from our kids?
Go ahead, Kevin.
You mean how do we being black?
I mean, like when we came up, we know how our dads were with us or our parents were with us. Does that impact how you approach, like, because like I know when I talk to my friends of other races about their parents and they look at me like, nigga, what? You do that?
I mean, I'm sure, yeah, because even if it's things you're like, I'm not going to do, because that's still an influence even if you don't do it. So you're like, I think, yeah, a lot of that shit though, but a lot of the stuff I was raised with, I feel like was good.
Yeah, I feel that way too. Like I feel like I understood where my dad was coming from, especially the more shit happens. You're like, oh shit, I went through the same shit. Like,
because at the time I'm like, no, fuck, that's crazy. Like, yeah, your mind, man. Now I'm like, damn, man.
Now I heard my dad. I told your ass it was gonna happen. Nigga.
Motherfuckers is right. All right, okay.
Every day.
But there's certain things I try to like do differently too, because like now I'm learning like I gotta treat each kid differently too. Like with Graceland, like I'm learning I gotta like let her talk, because I'm like, damn, she has a temper, and then I gotta be like, hey, and like talk to her, and then be like, what's up? And she'll tell me like, and I'm like, well, why didn't you just say that instead of just like lashing out? Just start here. And then it's getting better, but it's like, I don't think I would have had that like that growing up. They're not like coming up to me like, why you acting like that? It's like, nigga, you better sit your ass down.
Right. Give a fuck about your feelings. You being mad, you better shut your ass up and go sit down somewhere.
But it's like, it's cool though. Like I feel like it's cool to see that, because you can see like her as a person where you're like, oh, that's okay. No, I get that. Like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. Yeah. I feel like an asshole, but don't act like that. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So, like, definitely, I think that comes from, like, not having that as a kid, too. Like, wanting to, I don't know what that feels like. So, I guess that's kind of cool. Hopefully, it turns into something cool as they get older.
I think for me, it's hard. Because again, my grandfather was a man of few words. So it's like, it was more so like, he pretty much just affirmed whatever my grandmother said, right? So, but I think I'm trying to take the approach of recently now of like, I want her to express herself, right? Because I can't expect her at her age to have the understanding and the wherewithal to regulate her emotions, right? So I have to let her feel what she feel, even when I don't like what she feel, right? So it's similar to what you said, Kevin. I try to listen, I try to understand, and I try to, like, you know what, like I was saying, like, for them, any problem, it's life or death, because everything is magnified to them, right? Because in that moment, they're not, either they're not feeling validated or they're feeling like they're getting done wrong some kind of way. So and I kind of got there through my wife. Like, we kind of, like, when she's throwing her tantrum, she's throwing her fit, we get silent. We don't entertain it. We let her think about it. We let her say what she's gonna say, because sometimes we get the self down talk. But then again, a lot of times, especially like when something's been done because she's being disciplined, she's trying to get a rise out of you, right? So that's another part of, like, the not always engaging. And then the one thing I do that is completely different is like Kevin said, like, I try to have a conversation. I try to, okay, we're gonna talk about what happened, and I'm gonna explain to you why these are the consequences of what happened, right? And so my goal at that point is to get her to understand that, like I always tell her, I don't care whether it's good or bad. Every action has a consequence. And so what is expected of you. What is required of you. And you understand that even if you don't meet expectations, there may not be consequences because they're just expectations. But when you don't meet the requirements, there are definitely going to be consequences, because the requirement is the standard. The expectation is the goal. So it's two different things here, right? So then, and there's no way you can get out of, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I forget, all that, right? Well, here's the thing: as an adult, you're not going to be allowed to forget this. This is not going to be something you can just say when everything goes awry, right? So, like, another thing we just implemented is now, before school, we stop telling her what to do, right? So we don't do checklists no more. We don't do you got your backpack, you got your homework, you got your water, you got your lunch, nothing, right? So whatever you leave at home with, it's what you got. You get hungry, well, the school's gonna feed you. You got water fountain at school. We'll see you. You got your homework. You turn your homework in. Whose fault is that? You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's part of the whole, like, trying to teach responsibility type thing. And because I do feel like, to her detriment, like, she has been coddled and protected a little too much. And I feel like, I always say, like, she doesn't, it's a good thing and a bad thing that she hasn't had to experience a childhood similar to mine, as far as, like, the discipline wise. But I feel like I can, like you guys were saying, I can also see how, like, the way I was disciplined, I see how it benefited me in the long run. And I'm not really confident right now if what we're trying to teach her is actually getting through to her. So it's like, but, like, so I guess that's like my thing.
It's tough to know right now, though, too.
Huh?
It's tough to know right now, too.
Yeah. I mean, every now and again, there's some time almost like, you be like, okay, this motherfucker is listening. Like
I was just laughing halfway when you was talking, because I'm, like, picturing some of the conversations and the way that I talk. I'm like, all right, Kevin, dial it down. Like, you can't say some of these words. She don't know what the fuck that means. She
don't know what the hell you mean.
You say big words, and I'm like, okay.
Shit, Andrea, no bigger words than I do.
My wife always says, Kevin, is like, she don't understand the concept of what you're trying to say. I was like, it ain't my fault. She like, so, like, that part I get, but it's, no one prepares you for how stressful being a goddamn parent's gonna be. You, like, and because I thought, like, the protection and the providing, like, shelter and food and shit would be the hard part. it's the preparing the mentality and shaping a person to be a good person. That's the hard fucking part.
Here's what I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna say this. There's probably nobody on the planet that can piss you off more than you, but you still look at them like, wow.
Right.
Like, I love you to death, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, what did you just do?
Yeah.
Deep would
breath.
you even do that?
Deep
Like,
breath. Deep breath. Deep breath.
That shit happened yesterday.
Deep breath.
I told Ava's ass to stay off we were shopping at Walmart. I told her ass to stay off the
Cart?
shelves.
Oh.
And she kept leaning on the shelves, and then she eventually leaned on one shelf and snapped the damn thing.
Yeah.
And I said, I told your ass to stay off and she looked at me, she was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, go with your mom. Go with your, because I was like, I've told you this repeatedly, and then you end up still doing the action that I was trying to prevent you from doing.
It gets to the point now where, like, in that situation, it's like, I'm gonna tell you twice. After the third time, hold the basket.
Oh.
Are you either you holding the basket, or are you about to get your big ass in the basket because you can't behave yourself outside the basket?
I'll leave.
Just to come back, coming back.
I'll just take what. I'm like, we're just gonna go sit in the car.
Mm.
No, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
What I'll say is, it's interesting because of growing up with my dad, it was like, and we've talked about this before, the kind of like our societal norms was way different because we were expected to grow way faster than we now look at our kids to do. Because like now, like we've said it before, like I couldn't imagine letting my kids at 7 and 9 do anything by themselves when my dad expected me at 6 to be able to do certain shit because it was just me and him. So he already had to have it instilled in me that at 6, 7, 8, 9, he got to be able to do this shit, like walking home to, if he need to get something from the liquor store or something, he has to be able to do it himself, staying at home by myself, etc. Like it was all expected of me because you were growing up so much faster. So like, now I'm looking at it with them and I'm like, I couldn't imagine. I fucking couldn't imagine seeing them in a position to what was like for us growing up.
Yeah. I think the flip side and what's beautiful about that is that our children are experiencing something that we never got to experience because they are being allowed to just be kids.
Yeah.
And so, like, I realize all the time, like, the mentality and the responsibility I had at her age, my daughter's age, she doesn't have any of that. She happy-go-lucky, I'm going to play with my toys, whatever, right? The responsibility of making sure, you know, certain things are done, to everything from, like, you know, making your own sandwich to, like, doing chores, like the things that I had to do, like she's not doing the things I had to do at her age, right? And so, like, when I look at her, I'm like, it's kind of dope to me that, like, because I see how much of a free spirit she is. And I feel like, and sometimes I think like, man, like was my creativity and my, like, motivation hindered because I had to grow up? You know what I mean? Because it's like, sometimes I look at it like, man, this is like just like watching her play with her dolls and like the conversations and shit and the shit she be coming up with. I'm like, how the fuck? Or like, how do you see this shit? Okay, like, and it's almost inspiring to a point. Like, okay, so like, and in those moments, I feel like I'm doing something right. But then when we turn around and we throwing a temper tantrum because we ain't got no syrup, I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? I'm like, we'll get some syrup tomorrow. Like, calm down. Like, so it's like, it's the flip side of it. Because I wish I would cry because there wasn't no damn syrup in the house. But eat that goddamn bread dry. Just...
It made me think about the lies that would happen. Like, my dad would be like he didn't give me something. He'd be like, hey, they just didn't have it today. I'd be like, oh, okay. Didn't question it twice. Just left it at that. And I got older. I said, that nigga was lying. Now, like, I think about it now with my kids. I say, you know what? He didn't get that? Oh, my God. And I'm like, I should have just lied.
Yeah.
Like, I should have just fucking lied.
Look
Shit.
here, man. My wife is a genius. So she came up with this whole thing now. Like, technically, we never tell her no when she asks for something directly, right? It's always, okay, yeah, we'll put it on the list. We'll put it on your birthday list? We'll put it on your Christmas list? Yeah, we'll put it on the list. There is no list.
Yeah.
This is just something we say in the moment so that she don't throw a fit and we ain't got to deal with it. If we remember, because we'll get her the things she repeatedly asks for when we have the money or we feel like she deserves it. Yeah. But there is no list.
I know that.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
And then the cold part about it is like the one thing that we used to take away that would be like detrimental would be like screen time, like no iPad, no TV. And now she's come such accustomed to not having those things. Like, I'm gonna take your iPad away. Okay. Like it don't mean shit. Like she was on winter break for 3 weeks. She had the iPad one day. Like,
you ever think about Ava? Ava got my memory.
Oh, then you got rough.
Because she said shit that fucking 6 months ago. She said one thing. I'm like, oh yeah. She'll come back 6 months. Dad, remember that one day you said that you would do? How the fuck did you remember that? Like it's come due, nigga. Like, wait, I thought you forgot all about that. Nope.
She like the loan shark on a barbershop.
Yeah, like you remember that? Shit.
It is interesting with an older child too, because now it's like a different preparation. It's like, yo, you about to go out in the like real world and like have to do stuff where you're like, and I'm just like, I want you to still be like a kid in high school, but shit's coming. Like,
about to get real.
And I'm just like, it's tough because like there'd be things when like we're doing the driving stuff now. And we went to the DMV and I was just like, hand the papers in. And I'm like, why am I handing the papers in? And the lady was like, are you driving? I was like, no. She's like, well, then give her the papers. I was like, you're right. She should be doing all of this. So it's like trying to, but like also not just be like, go. Because it's tough out there. Shit.
Let me ask you this, because this is my thing. Like, how much more responsibility do we give them as they age? Because I feel like, I know for me at least, I've tried to make her life as easy as possible, but now I'm seeing like, no, I need to give her more responsibility. So like she understands the value of things.
Yeah.
So like, do you have like a way to gauge how much responsibility to pass off?
My dad kicked me out the nest. That was this thing. That's like it. You kind of like 0 to 60. So it's like,
see, I don't want that though.
You get comfortable and then all of a sudden one day he's like, hey,
gotta go.
You start today, nigga. Like you like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Like you didn't tell me this shit. You start today, nigga. So you just kind of like that. Like
what's that bird that pushed they babies out the nest and they it's like fly or die?
The wild robot.
It's a great movie.
That was kind of how you approach it. It wasn't one of those let me gradually tell him, which kind of like today you're learning. Yeah. You're starting today, nigga. Like boom, and you kind of get thrown off guard, but you're like, okay, like that's my best way of approaching it. You give them enough leeway, obviously, so when they actually have to have those skills, they're ready. Yeah. But like, I would just.
I feel like they tried to prepare me, but like, I feel like I was coddled to the point to where like, when shit got real, it was like overwhelming, like instantly. It was like, fuck, like.
And that's going to be hard too when you're like, I'm just sitting there like, I mean, she's tripping. She's okay. She probably don't know she's okay. But
like, shit.
It's over. You're like, it's not. You're good. Like,
yeah.
Because, we had some harder lessons.
Yeah.
You talk about like the driving lesson, nigga. My first driving lesson, I failed, right?
Oh, we're on our third one right now. She fails this one. I was like, you got to pay for it. Like, if you fail this one, that's on your dime.
Yeah. We did our part.
My dad made me feel low as shit that day.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, 18th birthday.
Damn.
So we go, and it wasn't like some fluke mistake where the lady assumed I was going to do something I wasn't going to do. But I remember feeling like shit. He kicked me when I was down. I remember feeling like shit that whole day. And I remember my brother, I said, me and my brother don't get along like that. My brother had to do the voice of reason, like, Dad, like, think about it. It's his birthday. He already feel like shit. He didn't pass. You think he didn't want to pass? Yeah. You don't think any 18-year-old don't want to be driving? And you over here making him feel like shit on his birthday?
Yeah.
And it took my brother saying it to him for him to realize, maybe I was too hard on him. And like it, oh my God.
Now, do you think, I think your dad was doing that to try to give you tough skin.
Yeah, but he realized, like Kevin said, like, sometimes you kind of just gotta like
ease up.
Yeah, like nigga, he just think he don't want his license, like So my brother said that to him, and he was like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Like,
you just remind me because I made fun of my wife for the longest time because she failed her first time. She passed the second time, but she failed the first time leaving the parking lot.
Yeah, she
drove off the curve, like the back tire went off the curve, and they was like, "Make a turn here," and she turned right back.
Like, damn.
That's so fucked up because when mines happen, they had me do the straight line, the curve where you line up with the curve, and they're supposed to pull off. But I saw the car coming, so I was rolling forward, waiting for the car to pass because it was a whole thing where there was no one. So I was rolling forward, letting them pass, and I was gonna merge over. Yeah. She thought I was gonna hit the car. She was like, "Oh!" She grabbed the wheel. What were you doing? I was like, waiting for the car to pass. So she was like, keep driving. So she makes me think the whole driving test is still going. Yeah. She had me go around the corner, do the whole whatever test, come back to the drive. Congratulations, you failed. I said, what the?
God damn, not the congratulations, you failed.
Damn. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's
mad. I was like, so you made me think the whole test was still happening, even though it wasn't? Like that's I was done at the.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, she had to clock them hours.
Yeah, like.
So I always make fun of my wife because I tell her, I said, every driving test I've ever taken, I've passed the first time.
That's a kick in.
Yeah, I passed the first time.
In the nether regions, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Why you do that?
Just to show her that I'm a better test taker than she is.
That's fucked up.
Both written. I've only both written and behind the wheel. I've only taken one time.
What's the next topic, man?
That's why I say if a certain person can fly a plane, nigga, I gotta be able to.
What up, Mark? So it's discipline versus understanding. How do you balance enforcing discipline while maintaining empathy and understanding? Like what we didn't. The example I gave was the perfect. That was no empathy in that shit. I try to be empathetic even when I don't understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. Because I get that they're growing up in a different time. But sometimes you do kind of get thrown off guard because you know that the instance in how you were raised comes in and you're like, nigga, I would never, like my dad would never let me trip off of this, or I would never think to be upset about some shit like this. Like, for example, the day that Ava was acting a fool in the car, I was driving and I'm looking around in my fucking surroundings. I'm like, nigga, I got a touchscreen. My seats are heated and ventilated. They're driving in this controlled climate. Their seats are heated and ventilated. And I'm thinking about when I had to wake up 30 minutes and help my dad with a fucking scraper get the ice off the windshield and let the old ass pickup truck heat up because it wouldn't roll if it wasn't heated. All the while, as we drive, there's a possibility that this stick shift truck could shut off and have to roll down the street and jump start again.
Oh yeah.
And you guys are in a controlled climate, controlled everything, and you're complaining about having to go to school because it's cold outside. And I'm like, the whole car was cold. We had to rely on that fucking engine. Like, and I remember there were times where he's like, I can't see. Tell me what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Because the defrost ain't working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm thinking, like, if y'all don't shut but you have to catch yourself. Like, if you don't shut the fuck up and don't realize that you're in a privilege, like, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, but I had to tell him, like, it was way different for me growing up. Please, like, try to appreciate this shit. Like, I guess you don't have to see that, but.
But see, the thing is, it's our privilege that we've allowed them to have is their normal.
Yeah.
So it's their baseline. They have nothing else to gauge it off of. So to them, having heated and ventilated seats is normal. They feel like everybody's having ventilated because they got them.
So that one day you riding in the Scion and you're like, what the?
Oh shit! Yeah. I don't know what the fuck we were talking about. But I was trying to get Kendall to like realize something, and she was like, "Do you mean like poor people?" I was like, "Kendall, what the fuck did you say?" She's like, "No, you're like poor people. We're not poor." And I was like, "Well, we're not rich. Like, what are you talking about?"
They think we rich.
Ava hit me with that shit too.
They think we rich.
About her cousin. She was like, "So my cousin's rich." I said, "No, they're not rich. They're better off because of the circumstance, but they're not rich." Yeah. Oh, but no, they get to do this, this, and that. I said, "That's not rich. Trust me, that's not rich. It's just having better circumstances." Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I think I try to understand that she's just a kid, and she doesn't have the tools at this point in her life to regulate her emotions as well as an adult should be able to, right? So that's what I'm saying. To some degree, the temper tantrums and the outbursts, like you got to kind of let them go through it and just kind of like ignore it. You know what I mean? Because I don't never want her to feel like what she's feeling isn't real or isn't validated, because if she's angry, if she's disappointed, if she's upset in that moment, those are her feelings, right? So I don't ever want her to be able to like misconstrue her feelings. But what I want her to understand is that like we can't talk about this until you calm down. So to that part, and then again, sometimes it's hard because it's like it didn't matter how I felt. Like what was said, and that was the law. Like if it's a no, it's a no. It ain't. I'm not finna ask why, because why leads to me having no teeth. Like I know this. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm a father and I'm answering why. Well, why not? Why can't we? It's just this. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I have another child that thinks that we are rich, and I tell her daily, like we're here. We're not poor. We ain't rich.
It's fun. It's just fun. I've been trying to enjoy the whole process because it gets fucking frustrating. So I'm like, trying to figure out what's the right discipline. Sometimes you're like, is this right? Is this working? Like, is this mean? Is this too far? Is this that? And like trying to learn the freedom part, because I'm like, okay, some of these things I got to like hone down. Like she's going to probably start doing stuff where you're like, you can't just be walking around in your underwear all the time. Like
that's Kevin, that's not going to change. That's not going to change. At this point, I'm happy when she has underwear on. I don't know why my child likes to be naked, and I'm constantly saying, Phoenix, put some clothes on.
Oh, I just laugh when my mom will come home and like they'll both just be down there in the panties. She's just like, all right, guess you just hang.
I will say this: thank God that my daughter is the one that has no issue with my sons.
Out there, huh?
Oh Lord!
I had this happen in both occurrences with them at a certain age. I think it happened faster with Alaric, where I was just chilling with them and I'm hanging out, and I'm like, I remember it happened with Andreas when he was like 3. It hit a point where we were just chilling. I was sitting on the couch with him, and I'm like, your dick is out. Like it just kind of threw me. Like I was sitting there listening to music, and it was me, him, and Ava. We're just chilling, and I'm just like, and Ava was playing with her toys, and I'm like, and it's been like an hour or so, and I'm sitting there, and I go, your dick is out. Like, why is his dick out? Like, and the same shit happened recently with Lark, and I'm just chilling, and then like,
that's too funny.
I'm watching TV, and I'm like,
I mean,
his dick is out. I said, so this is this is apparently a Mel Robinson thing. Like this, I was like, why?
freedom.
I guess. I'm like, shit.
Hey.
And like, I always have to explain to their mom, and she's like, oh, they love just pulling on their dicks. I said, it doesn't go away.
Never
That
does.
shit's gonna go for the rest of the. I said, I can tell you right now, from personal experience, we never stop.
It never does.
So she was like, they always pulling, they're so rough with them. I'm like, hey,
They'll
it
learn.
never stops.
They'll learn. When that shit start hurting, they'll learn.
So that shit there is like,
What
yeah.
I was gonna say, Kevin, to the discipline part, what I'm starting to see is that the discipline doesn't always work, regardless, because I feel like she has this thing to where it's like, it was worth it. It was worth it, right? But what I notice is that when we're disappointed in her, it crushes her. Because now she feels like she's let us down.
Sometimes with one of them.
Not the gangster, huh?
Sometimes she'll be like, I don't care.
Are you disappointed? Oh, okay. So I bought my juice.
For me, it's because of how I am or I present myself. They know when I'm not the one in reaction. Like, I just give them a look, like, and they're like, "Damn, Dad's like, he there." But I think because of the dealings of how our personalities are, when I'm pissed and I let them know that I mean business, they know to be serious. But I said I think it has to be reinforced as far as on both sides to understand that when we're trying to discipline, we have to like stand on business. We got to hold our ground. So like when we discipline and say this is restriction or whatever, I think it's hard to keep that instilled when if it feels like on one side we can get away with it with the other side. So so it's like when Dad's gone, we might be able to finagle the shit with Mom. Like, and like I feel like it's important to be able to say, oh no, if they say it. So that's why I always say, did your mom say it was cool? And if she said no, then you already know what the deal is. That's usually my reaction. Like, or if I don't know what's going on, I go, hey, they said this was cool. Is that factual? And she goes, yeah, I said that. I'm like, all right, cool. So, but when I'm usually at work, I come home and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, did they finagle you or like, what the fuck? Like, so.
I got one that I think likes to be in trouble though.
I will say yesterday that happened too.
I'm like, do you
Andreas
just
is bold
like
as fuck.
this shit? Like,
he slapped the shit out of his sister in front of me.
Damn.
Yeah, she did the same.
I said, what the fuck? He goes, well, she makes me feel like I'm stupid. She calls me stupid all the time. I'm like, but you know you're not.
Damn.
And he goes, but she calls me stupid. And then she goes, no, I feel stupid. You know what my grades look like? I said, I tried not to laugh because I was like, what the fuck? Like where's this coming from? Like, I said, you know damn well you can apply yourself in school. You're not stupid. But at first I was like, I'm confused as fuck. Well, why is everybody not keeping their hands to themselves? That was where I was at.
You were thrown in a predicament. Like,
so I was like, how the fuck you get from, because we're just sitting there watching Wild Robot.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck was that? I don't like her. Why? She makes me feel stupid. But why would you hit her? Because she made me feel stupid. So I don't like her. I'm like, but she's your sister. Like, what the fuck? Like, and then she goes, well, he makes me feel stupid. I was like, what the fuck?
Just random acts of aggression, huh?
Yeah, and then the baby was like, oh, we hitting people? And he tries to say hit both of them. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like,
because he thinks it's a game at this point.
Yeah, like, I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? We're just supposed to be watching a movie. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that ain't cool, though.
So I had to let him know, like, look, you, in no fucking way, shape, or form, you put your hands on anybody unless you're protecting yourself or defending your sibling. You do not fucking put your hands on anybody. And he was like, and he tried to like do the whole, I'm sorry, Dad, and cry. I was like, no, that crying shit. We're talking about, this is what it is. I'm not like, this ain't cool. Like, but it just I was like, then I was like, damn, Alaric, like, just seizes every opportunity. Cause I swear he was coming in running. Like he was about to fuck them up. Like,
so a chair was thrown. Like, oh, they threw a chair.
So
You gotta
what's
run
funny?
it. You want run and start.
None of this is written in the book. Like they got all these books, and you're like, this wouldn't have been written.
Yeah.
How would they prepare me for this?
How do I handle this? Where's the play-by-play for this?
I swear I tried not to laugh because it was something I was like, what the fuck? Like what? So you put hands on each other, but I was like,
man.
but you know,
That's the hardest.
you literally are you. It's not that she's doing bad in school, but she could be. She's like, I don't get awards like Andreas, but I'm like, you don't apply yourself like you know you can apply yourself. So what? Like I'm confused. I was like, you know, if you decided to buckle down tomorrow, you could be getting all these awards or whatever if you chose to. But school for you is, like you do what you like. You're doing the bare minimum as opposed to achieving that. Fortunately for Andreas, this shit comes easy to him. So like for him, school is like
He enjoys it.
he don't enjoy it. It's just easy for him. So when he sees shit, let me put it this way. I asked him a number equation. He can do it in his head like that. She got to count her hands. You know what I'm saying? It's not that they both get it. Just one's way quicker to the draw.
Look here, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna shoot both bells. Look here, because the way they teaching math now is ridiculous.
I can't do the math.
I'm reading these math questions. I was like, this is way more complicated than what it has to be. And so like I'm like, babe, this is what they mean. You gotta do this and this. Well, Dad, why don't they just say that? I said, I don't know. It's dumb, but this is how they want you.
They were like, you're gonna help them with the I can't. They're gonna be helping me because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't what is this? Like,
well, imagine
all you gotta do is camera on, chat GTP.
I didn't have that or Val.
Oh.
It was like just arguing with a fucking 8-year-old. You don't get this? Like, well, you said it was this way. And I'm like, oh, I did it wrong. Shit. We got to start over.
It's like you do the homework. She come back. I got a D. Damn.
Yeah, you got to go talk to
that shit ain't changed for me. Fuck. Like, you thought I got better at this shit.
The only part that pisses me off about homework, since we're here, is the reading comprehension part. Where I'm like, baby, they're telling you the answers in the story. Like, I asked you a question, you answer the question, and I go, so like, what did so and so do at this time? Huh? What does it say? Oh, at this time, so and so did this. So what did so and so this time?
Huh?
I'm like, come on.
That's why that pisses me off too, because like let it be some shit they want to do. They can tell you every in and out of the question, the scenario, whatever. But you ask them a question about a math question or whatever, and they be like, huh? Like, but you just told me the answer.
Yeah.
If
I did. Like,
if I say who came to Gabby's Playhouse today, you tell me the whole goddamn episode, but you can't tell me from a. I said, okay. And the thing is like, my daughter suffers from what I suffered from. The shit is easy, so she don't try. Right? She feel like she ain't got to try because she feels like when she guesses, she gets it right. Like her, my mom, I thought it was. I was right. So I don't feel like she really tries. And so like I was telling her, I was like, we're going to have to stop praising her a little bit. Because I think like it's going to her head a little bit because she feel like, oh, I got this type deal. And because by no means is she doesn't understand it. I know she understands it. She just, when it comes to homework or anything or like schoolwork, she just has no passion to do it. She just doesn't want to do it.
That makes sense,
because when she got her testing back, she's testing it like above her grade level. But then when she do homework, she'll be like, I'm like, so I know you know this shit.
Yeah.
I said, why are you wasting I said, you know what? Sit here. Think about this. Just come to me when you're done with the page. Because, yeah. I said, that's another reason why I said I got to go back to work. I'm probably doing homework. It's like that TikTok. This nigga's a good dad. I'm out here trying to be a good dad, help with homework and shit. Now, this shit, I'm like, look here. I give your mom a lot of credit because I can't do this shit.
If I try with math and shit, they're going to be like, there's a short bus outside. For who? You. We got to reevaluate you.
Oh, man.
It's like some shit ain't changed.
Can I ask y'all a question? All the people that went to school in the short bus, what happened to those people after high school?
One works at UPS. They told me the short bus was because they didn't have enough buses. I don't know if that was true.
They only did that once.
And if you guys find my Bart Simpson figurine, I appreciate it.
Where was it? I think when I lived on Ohio Street. They bought the little short.
It's funny when I'm dead serious.
No, I'm serious. They got seatbelts and shit. That's how I knew they had seatbelts on the bus. I had to take it to school one day.
Then I think about it. At that time, I didn't know what was going on, but I know the kid that was down the street was way bigger than me, and he went to the same school.
Damn.
I didn't put two and two together at the time. I didn't go to regular school until I moved to California, but in St. Louis, I was on the slow bus.
Yeah. Damn. Well, at least you
look
did
at
better.
me different?
At least
No.
You the same.
Yeah. I got a little bit smarter.
Yeah, they took you off the short bus.
They changed your surrounding.
And then what's funny is when I came to California, I was first grade and younger than everybody else. That's where Ava's facing now. But
being the youngest one in the class?
Being the youngest one in the class. But like I was fine as far as when I got here. It was just like what we talked about a few episodes ago. There were times where at the school I went to, Alki Elementary, which happened to be the last school that desegregated, and I'm just gonna throw that out there. But that school did a lot of I saw it amongst all my peers, but it didn't really click until you get older what was happening. Like the kid, like the stereotypes that the teachers would place on the kids of color was fucking wild. So you'd have instances where you felt stupid, and but it wasn't that you were stupid, is that they just try to apply whatever generic teaching practice to you. And then if you didn't get it, you were just, So luckily third grade, shout out to Mr. Pierce, who's my first black teacher, took an interest in me and made me excel. And shout out to Miss Shue too, who passed away a couple years ago. She was a white lady, loved Garfield. She took a chance on me. Like it was certain teachers that refused to allow. But it was, and it's in a fucking sea of a bunch of teachers that just kind of write you off to be. So,
and that, to your point, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what's her method of learning. Is she a visual learner?
Audio.
Or she, you know what I'm saying? How does she?
Tangible.
Well, now I know for a fact she's not an audio learner because she don't listen to shit.
Not like us.
Well, she know all that. She know the whole song.
I'm saying you could try to do it in that form and see if it works.
But it's like, I think that was one of the key things that once I learned how I learned, because I was a visual learner. Like, show me, don't tell me. Like, show me, and then I can apply that. It made things easier for me, right? So like, I could watch something a couple times, and then from that point, I got a good basis. I can figure it out. And so, but I think like, I'm trying to figure out how she learns to make her life easier down the line, because like if you can put that in motion now, it's just going to make every other grade easier for her, because now you know how to adjust things so that she picks it up off the bat.
Yeah. I know Ava's definitely visual, but she likes to create, and she likes things like if she'll watch like a YouTube video, she can create. Right, like if you say, "Oh, this is how you do that," she goes, "Oh," and then before you know it, she's created her own structure or whatever, and then she makes her own version of what you said. So, but like it took forever to get her to learn math because she wasn't interested in learning. Yeah. But once she got it, she knows how to do it now. It's just,
I'm gonna start telling her math is important because it's how you count your money. I'll probably get her. Good enough to count your money.
Yeah, so
I'm just terrified you guys keep talking about math.
I just know when they threw
got
that
a lot of more years ago.
They threw that shit in front of me. I said, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. The first time I seen block, I said, "What is this block shit?" Yeah. This is what this shit. I was like, "What? Why are we making this complicated?"
I'm gonna go try to learn calculus and shit at 40.
I ain't that bad.
I'm gonna be out here like, what'd you say?
Ain't that bad.
What'd you say?
You just run my chest tight now.
Huh?
It ain't that bad.
I think I got to algebra 2 and was like,
that's what I did too. And now I'm trying to.
And what was so cold is I didn't pass Algebra 2. Nobody in that class passed Algebra 2, so they canceled the whole class.
Damn.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
You remember Mr.
They
Cooper?
just canceled the class?
You remember
Was
Mr.
that the white dude
with the come over with the glasses, old white dude?
Was he just not a good teacher?
He was apparently very difficult, but like the entire class was in after school tutoring, and we all failed.
Yeah.
So after that semester, it was so bad they put other people in other classes, and they told me, "You want to take another elective?"
I don't know if I had Mr. Cooper. 'Cause I had somebody for geometry, some old white dude.
Yeah, but
He was
I
like
think
not a good teacher. He was bad.
I think
that motherfucker was bad.
I took Algebra 2 sophomore year.
I just know that shit. I was like,
Sophomore?
never. I ended up taking Spanish.
Geometry.
Yeah, I think that's as far as I went. Maybe algebra 2.
I think I took statistics and
Geometry
junior
wasn't
year.
that bad for me.
Yeah, that was easy.
But fucking Algebra 2, I was like, nigga, I'm just not getting it.
I don't remember
And I'm
shit
taking
from
after school
geometry.
tutoring.
And I should, because I do it in my head, but I can't. Formulas I can't remember.
And it was funny is when I would go with the tutor, it made sense. And I go back to his class, I'm like, nigga, this ain't in law what I had after school. What the fuck is this? Like,
But see, I in college I experienced that, right? Like I can have like the professor would say some shit, and I'm like, this shit don't make sense at all. But then like someone would say, oh, okay, that's what he mean. But then when I go back to class, I'm like, that's not what this nigga said.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah.
well, I said they ended up fucking canceling that whole class because I think 2 people passed, but they were already like,
Yeah.
everybody else failed. So they just
I ain't never heard of that. That's
asked
That's
about
crazy.
it, nigga. That
no,
shit
I
was
believe
wild.
you. I
Like,
believe you for sure. But I'm just like, I feel like they should be like, hey, look, we failed you, so we're gonna pass you guys.
that shit was wild, bro. Like I was like, because I thought I was the only one. But I mean, I knew classmates were struggling. I didn't know everybody was failing. Like,
Damn.
so
Yeah, you can't be the teacher after that.
Yeah.
They should bring you in the office and be like, hey, so
and
leave,
the thing
turn in your little
is,
badge thing.
me and Zuli joke about that shit, but she passed that class with that teacher, but he was always flirtatious with the girls.
Like Mr. Crandall.
Yeah. Didn't Mr. Crandall been marrying one of his students?
I don't know. I think I don't know.
Also,
He always
his-
had attractive.
His
not the
history
professor.
went deep.
Yeah.
Like my cousin came over here and they graduated. I forgot what year, but they were like Mr. Crandall. And I was like, he was a creep way back. Rest in peace, Mr. Crandall. But he was like
I
creeping
just
way
know
back then.
His TAs were always bad as fuck.
Oh, he did that on purpose.
My freshman year, I was
Shoulder
like,
massages in class.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would see senior females. I was like, who the fuck is that? And they were like, oh, that's Mr. Crandall's TA. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, he do that shit.
And I'm like, and then you see them up there all playful and shit. You're like, oh.
But that's wild to me. Where you're like, that's, hey guys, this is okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh well, he's on.
Any last advice you would like to give people dealing with
Keep your cool. Count to 10. It gets better. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great. It's part of it.
What was that?
It gets better.
That sounded like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
No, I was like, what was that? They will test you.
Was that a head gasket or what?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like they get it gets better.
Yeah.
They're great. And I was like, are they?
They are. It's just it's interesting to watch where you're like, wow, that's cool.
I was like, there's a lot of obstacles that will stress you the fuck out, but when you get to see the dope instances where you get to see them be dope individuals, it almost makes up for it.
I do feel like when they get a W, when they get a win, and they face like that shit do make it worth it.
Yeah, make you be like, you know what?
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, this has been episode 185 of the Heavyweight Podcast.
Yay.
Again, Des couldn't be here, but she will be back soon or at some point.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's that soon.
She not get a 1099. I know that much.
Oh,
yeah.
She's docked.
Yeah. You can't claim this on your taxes. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
We're gonna get a whole post on us.
So next time, we love you. Peace.
Peace.
Sweating. That's a wrap, y'all. That's how she wrote. So make sure you click like, subscribe, tune in. We on all streaming platforms. So Until next time, we'll holla at you.